I'm Theo, proud game developer at Swedish indie studio SkyGoblin. We've been running our company for over 10 years now. We've had our fair share of glorious ups and truly painful downs. Despite this, we're alive and kicking, and now we're stronger than ever. Here's our story. SkyGoblin started out as a group of young, naive, and passionate nerds that were hell-bent on making the biggest and baddest AAA game possible. We called the game Zone 1. It was a massively ambitious multiplayer online first-person squad-based real-time strategy game, or MMOFPS SQRTS. Needless to say, the project didn't stand a chance. Being independent allows you to be stupidly naive and aim too high. That's the source of a lot of magic, but as in most cases, also the source of getting badly burned. But we learned a lot from it, and it brought us together in a way that no other project could. But it sure didn't make us any money. So we delved into mobile games. Metal Commando, a top-down shooter, was the first game we released and was also the first game we published on our own. The game rocked, but financially, it was a disaster. Turned out making a great game didn't necessarily mean making any money. Being independent means you gotta know how to sell your own product. We didn't, and it burned us bad. But having wrapped up production on a cool game really strengthened us as a team. We had also started work on another game, named Baron's Gold. It was a really promising airplane shooter, but we abandoned it, knowing that regardless of the game's quality, it wasn't gonna sell. The mobile market wasn't gonna be our golden ticket to fame and riches. We were dirt broke, the rent was due and morale was dwindling. Making great games was killing us. Fortunately, we got the genius idea to apply for funding via the Nordic Game Program. We threw a design document together with some pretty pictures, filled it with buzzwords, submitted it, and crossed our fingers. And then, blammo, we got the funding. This was a pivotal moment in SkyGoblin's history. We went from hobby studio to full-time developers in a matter of weeks. These were exciting times. The game was called Nord. It was a violence-free social farming game that came to be the core of our company for nearly 6 years. We had a great time building it and a great time running it. And without the lessons learned during its development, we'd never be where we are today. During our Node years, we also did all sorts of work for hire to help get the bills paid. We did illustrations, system administration, and advert games of all kinds. This kept us afloat financially, and with every finished project, we learned something new. Longing to work on more close-to-heart projects, on my free time I had started working on the original low-res version of The Journey Down. It made a pretty big splash on the indie scene when I launched it, which led to another huge turning point in our company's history. I somehow managed to convince my fellow SkyGoblins to take on The Journey Down as a full-on commercial project. It was going to be our next big thing, and I was excited as hell. For a period of time there, our boat wasn't rocking, and for the first time in the history of our company, we had a fairly reliable, albeit low, income. This period of stability was an excellent time to enjoy the biggest and most awesome perk of being independent, enjoying our freedom. The dark, long, cold, depressing Nordic winter was closing in on us, and we decided we needed a change of scenery. So, we terminated the contract on our office, packed our bags, and moved our business to Zanzibar, Tanzania. We rented a place from Mathias' Swahili teacher in central Stone Town. Being fairly cloud-based meant we could run Node and work from anywhere in the world, provided we had two things: internet and power. Surprisingly, internet, though expensive, was easy to fix. Power, however, not so much. 2 weeks in during our 3-month stay on the island, the undersea cable that supplied the island with electricity from the mainland broke down, and it took 3 full months to replace it. For a long time, the whole island was left completely in the dark. Our laptop batteries were drained, and we soon ran out of diesel for our constantly malfunctioning generators. This generator was so shaky, the cap for the fuel tank broke off, so it kept spilling all the fuel. So we had to replace the cap with a carrot. This last-minute adventure game type fix allowed the generator to run exactly long enough to finish uploading a critical patch to Node, our online game. Unfortunately, once the upload was complete, the carrot had disintegrated into the diesel and became the final killing blow for our poor generator. We wound up spending most of the trip foraging for water and power, roaming like nomads from cafe to cafe, leeching these necessities wherever we could find them. The rest of the time was spent exploring Tanzania, goofing around, and just enjoying life in general. Thanks to the power outage, our trip to Tanzania was a massive economic disaster. But even if I could change the past, I wouldn't have done it any other way. It was an amazing trip that allowed for us to truly experience life as independent developers, truly masters of our own screwed up situation, and it was the perfect way to get in the mood for working on the single most awesome game ever, The Journey Down. After Africa, we moved back to Gothenburg, Sweden, and got ourselves a new office in a different part of town. This office came to be our home for several years and housed us during the entire development of Chapter 1 of The Journey Down. As work on The Journey Down continued, we realized Node's time as a commercially viable product was over. We wanted to put full focus on our new title, so the time was right to let it go and shut it down permanently. Finally, focusing full-time on a point-and-click adventure truly was a dream come true. After 2 years of intense development, the first chapter of The Journey Down launched, and the timing was excellent. Our money had just run out and we were facing cold, hard bankruptcy. Fortunately, the launch of Chapter 1 of The Journey Down went beautifully, and the money started pouring in. And other than the standard cut that the distributors take, the revenue was all ours. It was great to be independent. Truly the masters of our own vision and sole reaper of our own rewards. These were good times. We were high rolling and decided to spend the money fast before it was gone. We immediately went on a globe-trotting tour and started with GDC in San Francisco and later E3 in Los Angeles. These were great trips, and they were both excellent opportunities to meet up with fellow developer friends, old and new. We also got to do our fair share of touristing in California, which was awesome. Easily being able to merge business trips with fun personal travels is definitely one of the best perks of indie game development. Once our globetrotting came to a close, it was time to get down and dirty and focus on development of Chapter 2. This time around, we decided to work from home, from cafes, and really made an effort to cut down on our monthly costs to give us as much time as possible for wrapping it up. Again, as we closed in on launch, we were all out of money and about to hit bottom. Again, the game was received warmly, and again, the launch saved us in the nick of time. Being independent has allowed us to build exactly what we want, regardless of its short-term financial viability. Not having anyone breathing down our necks and bothering us with realistic budgets and similar depressing real-life things has enabled The Journey Down to truly reach its full potential. It has meant some really hard times financially, but it has also meant that we've been able to produce things we're truly proud of. And in the end, nothing could possibly matter more than having fun and making awesome games. Revenue from Chapters 1 and 2 has taken us far into the design phase of Chapter 3 of The Journey Down. And now, with the help of all of you wonderful people out there who are backing us on Kickstarter, we'll finally be able to wrap up the whole thing and bring this to the beautiful conclusion that it deserves. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for supporting SkyGoblin and The Journey Down. You are the ones making the magic possible. Thank you.